Well, thank you all for joining Minister McQueen and I this evening. And I would like, firstly, to wish all Albertans a happy Thanksgiving, a time when we enjoy turkey dinner with our families and the blessings that we have. Unfortunately, many in downtown Calgary have been had their Thanksgiving disrupted by circumstances that are beyond their control. And as we all know, thousands are without power and have been evicted from their homes because of the underground electrical fires, and they've voluntarily evacuated from their residences. But I think it's fair to say that once again, Calgary and Calgarians have risen to the challenge and are showing incredible resiliency and community spirit. This afternoon, the mayor and I were down at Mowata and met with people who were affected and who were trying to get into hotel accommodation overnight, and there's a great spirit of patience and cooperation. So Calgarians have in recent years endured a number of events, but it's, I think, on each occasion shown everyone the character that we have in this city and in this province. And we've all pulled together to help with our neighbors, and we've shown that incredible Calgary spirit through all of this. The province, I can tell you, has been monitoring the situation closely since Saturday evening. Through the Alberta Emergency Management Agency, we've helped the City of Calgary coordinate with logistics. We've liaised with the federal government and also with other agencies, all of whom are helping on the ground. The City of Calgary has taken the lead to manage the situation for impacted residences and businesses. And the provincial government's role is really to be here to support the City of Calgary. Mayor Nemchi and his team at the Calgary Emergency Management Agency have been doing a great job. As I said, I saw the mayor this afternoon. We have spoken throughout this time, and I would commend the mayor and his staff for their hands-on leadership through a difficult time. All of which has been directed at making sure that they protect the safety of Calgarians. The province will remain engaged with local authorities until power has been restored. And I want to ensure all Calgarians that we're thinking of them, and that I would give everyone the warmest Thanksgiving wishes under trying circumstances, but it is Thanksgiving nonetheless. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Minister of Municipal Affairs, Diana McQueen, who has also been quite hands-on through all of this. And she will tell you about some of the provincial government services that have been disrupted through this time. And I would just add as she begins that, of course, the McDougall Centre is one of the buildings that's been closed. That's where my office is, and Mayor Nenshi has kindly offered City Hall, so I will be working out of City Hall for part of this week, sharing his office with him. But there are other government services that have been disrupted. So, Minister McQueen.
Well, thank you very much, Premier, and I certainly want to echo your comments about the fantastic job Mayor Nenshi and his staff have been doing. I can tell you, when we think about the number of emergencies we've had over the last year, how they've all pulled together as a city with the province, and they've done an outstanding job as a team. The Calgary Emergency Management Agency has certainly shown great leadership and professionalism in their response. And I know our team at AEMA have really been there to support them and really commend them for the work that they do. We can rest assured that they are doing everything possible to keep people safe and to restore power and services to the affected areas. I urge Calgarians in the affected areas to please listen closely to local authorities for further instructions and updates, especially as we head into the work week tomorrow morning. This power outage has impacted some provincial services, as Premier has said, particularly as they relate to the courts, both courts of Queen's Bench and the provincial court proceedings. Due to the power outage, Calgary Courts Centre will be closed on October 14th, 15th, and 16th. A plan, though, is in place to manage this interruption. Dates have been rescheduled and are available on Alberta Courts website. Albertans with matters at the court centre scheduled for these dates are encouraged to visit the website. And also there are phone numbers for both of those courts available on the website. Emergency applications will be dealt with by a Queen's Bench Justice sitting at the Court of Appeal, and we are working with our partners to ensure Calgary Court Centre is up and running again as quickly as possible. With Human Services, the workers will be contacting clients directly to reschedule appointments at the most, and to reschedule them at the most convenient and appropriate location. They can also visit the website for more information there. Service Alberta, there will be minimal impacts as the data service center is located in Edmonton and the backup center is here in Calgary. So there will be little disruption expected in Service Alberta, just so that people know that Land Title's office in Calgary is located outside of the affected area, and so will be open for business for regular hours tomorrow as well. Our government operations that have been impacted are located in the following buildings. Certainly Government of Alberta McDougall, as Premier Prentice has just said, AMAC building, JJ Boland building, Standard Life, PetX, and the Calgary Centre. But at this time, we do not expect major disruptions to the daily operations of any government departments. We will, however, keep Albertans updated via our website, social media, should that change. We really want to let Calgarians know that we will continue to work with our partners, Mayor Nenshi and the City of Calgary, to provide support in any way that is needed. As the holiday weekend comes to a close, we are reminded that one of the things that we can be most thankful for is the dedication of our first responders and the civil servants of this province when we need them the most. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy to answer any questions you have.
So what are
I should just say, the reason we are here at the drop-in center is that my wife Karen and I and our niece are here. We're planning to be here anyway to serve Thanksgiving dinner at the drop-in center. This was set up weeks ago, and it's happening at 6 o'clock, and we thought we would just meet here. So, questions?
Can I ask what your guys' provincial employees are doing then? Like, if they are in one of these buildings, what the plan is for them?
Certainly where the buildings are closed, the provincial employees will not be in there, but there's a lot of work that can happen, for example, in the energy ministry that will happen in our Edmonton offices as well. So we, like other businesses in the city down here, we have contingency plans as well.
The biggest impact, obviously, is the court center. Given the fact that the building will not have power, it just can't function the way that it needs to.
The mayor alluded to it. Has there been much for discussion as far as money?
Not at this point. The mayor and I have spoken repeatedly. We were at Mawada together today, speaking with people who've been affected. We had a brief discussion about that and agreed that we would talk further later in the week. At this point, really the focus is making sure that everybody's safe and that people are living in appropriate circumstances, and that in particular vulnerable citizens are being well taken care of and have food and water and are able to be safe.
Might be looking into the crystal ball a little bit, but do you anticipate this being something that might fall under a DRP style program?
Well, as I say, part of it may, and we'll, certainly the mayor and I will have that discussion. And we've begun that process, but the focus really at this stage is really to deal with making sure people are safe. But we will be in the same office later in the week. So.
Does DRP, from your understanding, apply to man-made disasters as opposed to natural disasters? What it turns out to be?
Well, part of the eligibility depends on insurability, and there are complicated issues surrounding that. But Minister McQueen can certainly speak to that.
Yeah, certainly if they're insurable, that's outside of the DRP, that portion of it. So what we'll do with Mayor Nenshi, we've talked as well on this, we'll make sure people are safe, restore the services, and then Calgary will put forward a request, as they have in the past in other circumstances, and we'll work through what's DRP applicable and not. But certainly the mayor has done a good job at raising it with both the Premier and myself.
So, DRP is not exclusive to natural disasters. It could potentially apply in cases like this.
We'll see with regards to what's insurable, and we'll go through that. There's a lot of different criteria that happens with that, and so we'll go through that. They'll submit their expenses, the claims, and then we'll go through that as it comes forward.
Other questions?
If this goes past Saturday, any other outside help that you guys are thinking of bringing in?
Well, all the indications we have are that it should not go that long, and certainly I also spoke with the CEO of NMAX this afternoon, and as well as with the mayor, and the sense is that they're making good progress and hopefully later in the week.
Is there other government funding available if it doesn't fall under the DRP?
What we'll do is we'll look at the claims that the city of Calgary puts forward, and we'll go through that in detail when they put that forward at that time. So really a little bit too early to talk about funding, other than we know that the mayor has raised that issue, and so that will be clear that like other situations where the city of Calgary has applied, we'll look through those.
At this point, the city and the mayor are really focused on the citizens of the city, and they're doing a great job, which is exactly what the focus should be. We'll have lots of opportunity to discuss compensation and DRP and elsewhere. Great, thank you. Thanks very much, folks. Happy Thanksgiving.
If anybody wants